Can you walk us through what happened when CPS arrived at your home?
During this whole interaction with her, there was no calm and respect. When I opened the door, almost the whole entire police department was here.
Imagine a world where your family's happiness is shattered in an instant. This is the story of a family who faced their worst fear, losing their child to a system they didn't understand. Meet Gena. In August, life for her. Her husband Tim and their child took a dark turn. Allegations about their home safety brought Pennsylvania Child Protective Services to their door. Scared and unsure, they found hope in an ally, CPSprotect Consulting Services. With CPSprotect Consulting Services, they weren't alone. CPSprotect helped them understand what was at stake, turning their fear into action, preparing their home and hearts for what was to come.
Can you walk us through what happened when CPS first arrived at your home? What were your initial thoughts and feelings?
I wasn't home when they first arrived. They gave me a call on the phone and told me that I was being investigated for home safety. I was shocked and scared when I heard that I was being investigated by CPS. I set up an appointment with them for them to come back. I reached out to my pastor and he referred me to CPS Protect Consulting Services.
How did CPS Protect Consulting Services change the course of your situation? What was it like working with them during the investigation?
When I contacted CPS Consulting Services, they told me what they could do to help me with my investigation and help me protect my rights during the investigation. I was a bit skeptical, but I decided to sign up because I was afraid to take on CPS alone. The night before the investigation, Jay contacted me and he helped me make sure that there wasn't anything of concern in the home. He really made me feel relaxed and prepared after talking to him that night, and I felt more ready for the investigation that was to come the next day. The last interview went off without a hitch and the case was closed as unfounded. I feel like using CPS Protect helped me to be able to go into it with a lot more confidence. They helped me from making stupid little mistakes. Jay was really good when I was really upset and stressed out about it and calming me down and helping me realize that it was going to be okay. He was an amazing support through the process and understood the severity of what I was facing.
After the first investigation was closed, how did your family adjust? What changes did you make at home or in your daily routine?
After the first investigation was closed, we breathed a sigh of relief. It was finally over. There weren't many adjustments that had to be made because there weren't any issues that were found in the case. Thanks to Jay's help with the investigation only took 30 to 45 total minutes from beginning to end with first interview and second interview. And I was very thankful to Jay for this and for helping me have the best chance possible to keep my family from any unnecessary trauma.
A parent's work is never done, especially when your child has special needs. Even when CPS isn't involved, parents are still working tirelessly to keep their children safe. The work didn't stop for Gena either.
What was life like in between investigations? What challenges did you face with your child and how did you address them?
During the first investigation, our 14-and-a-half-year-old son was actually in the hospital due to behavioral issues and multiple mental health diagnoses. Physically aggressive, strongly defiant, punching, kicking things, and breaking things. The next couple of months, we're still having minor to moderate problems. Mid-October, we created a safety plan that would help keep things safe when our son would get physically aggressive or unable to reason with during his anger events. He has a bed in my room and he was in there with me at all times and he was never left alone and had everything he needed there. And it was just a medical grade cuff that was on his hand to keep him from getting into anything that could be dangerous. Our son agreed to this plan because he wanted to stop his behavior. He didn't know why he did it, and he said he wasn't able to stop. We had been continuing to look for a therapist, but there were so long of wait lines, we hadn't been able to get him into any, and we were trying to manage the best we could at home with a safety plan.
The peace was short-lived. A subsequent investigation more severe than the first, led to their nightmare becoming reality in January 2024, just 3 months after the last investigation closed. Despite their best efforts, their child was taken, leaving a void nothing could fill.
Can you walk us through what happened when CPS arrived at your home this time? How is it different from the previous investigation?
Our son had another physical outbreak in the home, and we had to call the police again for this one and take him back down to the hospital for evaluation. 2 days after this event, I received a call from the police department saying there was an officer outside that needed to talk to me. When I opened the door, almost the whole entire police department in our small town was here. A detective and the 2 CPS agents were on the porch. And the other one was her supervisor. When she came in, she told us the allegation, and she said it was child abuse and cannot be done. Then she started attacking his counselor. I told her that he wasn't immobilized and he was never alone. It was just a tether and on one wrist. And most of the time that she was here, she was insulting the counselor, saying he was incompetent, not qualified, and facilitating child abuse, allowing my son to consent to be abused. And she started, it was illegal to record her, which it is not, but she was trying to bully me that day. During this whole interaction with her in the home, there was no calm and respect. She never gave us any other options to do. We pretty much were just lectured, given no other alternatives to help us in moving forward. She took away the one thing that was keeping things safe, and she didn't give us any other options to allow to keep things safe in the situation if it gets violent.
Let's talk about the challenges you faced with your child's special needs. How did these impact your interactions with CPS?
After CPS came in with the allegations of child abuse and told us we couldn't use the tether anymore, we stopped using it. That made things more difficult when it came to my son. The acting out increased because we have no way to calm things down when he goes into unreasonable and aggressive phases. He ended up with 2 more police reports due to his behavior that wouldn't have occurred if he had had the safety plan in place at the time. In the 22 days since CPS came in the beginning, I got him to his pediatrician, to his med management appointment, which they changed his meds, and they set up an evaluation for a referral to an RTF facility. Fast forward 16 days, and that's when they come in to remove our son. And we have not heard anything from them, nothing at all. All the help they promised, everything they were going to do, nothing happened.
What was the impact of your child's removal on your family, especially considering the special care he requires?
It was very traumatic having your child ripped away from you so abruptly, and you don't even know how to process it yet. My son was very upset. He didn't want to go with them. They came here with a court order and said they had multiple reports of us continuing to tether him. And after they left with him, we were not told anything. We did not hear from anyone for 3 days. We did not know where he was, who he was with at all. The strangers come and take him that we don't know, and you don't know where he is, if he is okay, if he is safe, if he is scared. It was horrible. I cried so much in those days. No, he called CPS and told them that if they didn't tell him where his kid was by the end of the day, that he was going to call the police and report him missing. We finally found out at that point. They didn't want to let us talk to him on the phone till after 4 days. He didn't have all of his medications that he needed for his psychiatric issues, and he also had missed his therapy session. I was so upset when I found out how they had not made sure he had all the stuff that he needed.
Facing such a significant challenge, how did you and your family cope? What steps did you take to try to bring your child back home?
It was devastating when he was taken. I felt so empty. Everywhere I looked, I saw things that reminded him, and I broke down. We pulled together and tried to prepare for the upcoming shelter care hearing so we could hopefully bring him home that day. I contacted 16 different law firms to see if we could get representation. 2 responded and told me they couldn't do it because it was too short of notice. I contacted CPSprotect because he told me to check with Legal Shield. I worked nonstop typing out as much information of the case, laying out. I felt fairly confident going into the hearing because I had a lot of evidence that I had pictures of the bed, the room, all this documentation. I didn't think they would see cause to keep him out of the home. home. We went to the hearing room, and that is when the real horror began. Our attorneys barely asked any questions. They didn't bring up anything that we did for him. We were not allowed to submit any of the pictures or anything. CPS people were straight out lying. This is just the tip of the iceberg. If things were fully truthful in the hearing and we could have showed anything that we had, we most likely would have come home with us. He was so upset. He was such a devastating blow to all three of us. It really made us lose faith in humanity.
The community's response, including law enforcement and animal control, added more pressure. How did you manage these additional challenges?
We were already shaken at the opening of a CPS case and being accused of child abuse when we deeply love our child. Try to take the best care of him we possibly can and keep him safe. When they sent animal control after 2 weeks, that was another blow, because not only are you trying to mess with my human child, but you're trying to mess with my fur children as well. Animal control didn't find anything when they came in because we take very good care of them, but it still added to a level of stress that we didn't need along with the other case. It's a hard blow when the entities that you trust to protect you and your children show so much more sinister motives. It really makes me question the country we live in and humanity as a whole, especially when parents can't be left alone to parent and things like this can actually happen.
Looking forward, what are your hopes and fears as you continue to fight for your child's safe return?
We are currently looking for a good attorney to take into this next hearing so we don't get steamrolled over like we did last time. I'm really afraid and concerned if we are going to be able to make it through this financially with needing to get. I'm really afraid that we're going to go into this next hearing and face the same situation that we did the last time, and no matter what the truth is, it actually won't matter. I thought the facts would save us in the first hearing, but boy, were we wrong. I really hope we can put together all the evidence that we need. I am nervous speaking out about this because they may try to retaliate. We have taken such good care of our son and love him very much. It doesn't matter how good you take care of your child. If you do something they don't agree with, they can take them away, and you can find yourself fighting for your family too.
This story is a powerful reminder of the strength found in love and the courage to stand against the odds. CPSprotect Consulting Services remains a beacon of hope, guiding families through their darkest times. CPSprotect Consulting Services doesn't just offer advice. We provide a shield. From preemptive home assessments to real-time assistance during investigations, our services are designed to keep families together.
Having gone through this experience, what message do you have for families who might be facing similar challenges?
If you find yourself with CPS knocking on your door, tell them it isn't a good day and schedule them to come back. From now until they come back, contact CPSprotect Services so they can help you to prepare, to help you to have the best chance to make it past this first meeting without any mistakes. I know when I was talking with Jay in my first call with him, the innocent things that I couldn't believe he was telling me that they could use to find cause to remove your children from the home, things that probably a lot of people have in their home that think they have safe homes. And it is safe, but CPS has an unrealistic view of what a safe home is. Always seek out someone to protect your rights and do not take them on alone. CPSprotect has been an amazing support to me throughout both of these investigations. I don't know how I could have made it through either one of them. I know I definitely couldn't make it through this one without them.
And finally, how has this journey changed you and your family?
This journey has definitely taken a toll on my trust of people, and it's like I almost want to record everything interaction I have with almost anybody. It's definitely hurt mine and my husband's faith in humanity. I think it's bringing me and my husband closer together to fight this common enemy. It's definitely a wake up that you really have to watch who you trust, even when it's somebody that you should be able to trust. And I hope that this helps people see that and see the need for, getting help through a company like this. They've been wonderful and helped me so much, and I'm thankful that they're here.
Every family deserves to feel safe and supported. Reach out to CPSprotect Consulting Services and protect your family before it's too late. Let's ensure that every child and every family has the chance to thrive, free from undue fear. This is more than a service, it's a movement. Join us in the fight to protect families and bring them the peace they deserve. Visit us online or call today